guys, hi people, hey dudes, hey nudes. Do you remember when back in 2023 I released a teaser for The Last Guest remake created by me? You do? Cool, great. I'm not talking about that. Instead, I'm going to talk about actual Pig. Of course, I am not saying that the trailer that Gamershay animated for me is not Pig, so chill gang. I'm going to be talking about The Last Guest Reimagined created by Convex HD and his team. So The Last Guest Reimagined is basically The Last Guest, but reimagined. I don't know what I was going with here. So the project is a complete rewrite of Oblivious HD's, aka Matt's movie of the same name, but without reimagining the title for obvious reasons. Matt's movie, which was pretty peak at the time, but as of 2026, it's kinda outdated, from the animations to the plot. Of course, there are still people who enjoy this movie, which I'm not going to stop them or tell them that they are wrong for liking something that didn't age the best. I myself also still kind of think that the movie is cool, despite its glaring issues. It's like me with the Muffin series by Retardization. I like the series, but I also acknowledge that it didn't age the best. And it doesn't help that the creator herself is a freak who thinks that gay couples are hot. But enough of that, pro chipper. The Last Guest Reimagined's trailer got about millions of views, and it's all thanks to people like Creekcraft, who promoted the movie by reacting to the trailer. And this remake even got the attention of Oblivious HD, who later joined Convex's official Discord server. And Matt hasn't spoken in the server for a while, which I'm not surprised since he's pretty famous, or infamous, for just dropping something then just ghosting out of there. But whatever, let's talk about the movie. Now, I'm gonna keep this review free from spoilers, and I'll try not to show any footage from the movie. It's just footage from the trailer or teasers and screenshots too, because I'd rather have you guys check it out and give the remake support. Only if you're not a minor, because this movie, despite being a remake of The Last Guest, has a lot of mature themes like swearing, Guest and Matt getting drunk, and of course some dark tones. It might be hard for me to keep the format spoiler free, because The Last Guest Reimagined kind of follows the same formula as the official The Last Guest movie. You know, Guest's parents die, Guest ends up in an orphanage, Guest befriends Daisy and Matt, Guest almost dies, he gets married and have a daughter. Guest goes to war and he dies at the end. Until you decide to watch The Last Guest 2, 3 and 4 and he pretty much pulls a I live on the audience. And anyways, let's get on with the review. I am going to get the cons out of the way before I want to start gushing and praising the out of this movie and acting like it's the second coming of Jesus Krispies. Of course, I'm gonna repeat myself like a broken record again and remind you all that I do not hate this movie or Convex. Just because I criticize something doesn't mean I hate it. In some cases, and in this instance, I love this film, but there are flaws that I can't just leave unnoticed. Firstly, the sound design isn't great in some cases, just as the audio for the guns being fired ended up sounding muted. I don't know what happened, but I do hope in the next movie it gets fixed. Then we have the redesign for Guest 1337. I don't think it's a bad redesign, but my only issue with it is his stubble. Those lines look way too thick and should be a bit thinner. My only assumption of why Convex had the double to be like that is because he didn't want Guest's redesign to look too closely to the Forsaken version of Guest, and therefore did not want any Forsaken kids in the comment section of his film, and I understand how it feels. Lastly, the cameo characters. The cameo characters sometimes end up feeling out of place. Like hell, we have Reefer from Block Tales at the funeral of Guest 1337. I guess you could say he's grieving. But yeah, the cameo characters doesn't really bother me too much. I get why some of them are there, like some are either friends of Convex or YouTubers that Convex wanted to include as Easter eggs, but sometimes they end up feeling out of place and end up being in the way. Like this one character with the TV on his head as the guy that takes the photos at the wedding. I think they should have just stayed in the background, or the avatar could have had their design tweaked slightly so that they can fit in the scene. Now that's out of the way, I can finally praise the remake on what they got done right. The animation quality is really spot on. I just love how the characters move and the fighting animations looks great. The voice acting is also really good, especially for Charlotte's, which, fun fact, according to a lot of people, Convex hired a kid to voice Charlotte, which is a really smart move, instead of just trying to find an adult that can mimic a kid's voice well. Or do what Enderfriend did with me and just pitch my voice higher to the point that I sound like a child. Grandpa! Also, I love that some of the scenes in this movie was extended and fleshed out, just like one of the characters in this film. We learned from one of the soldiers that his mother didn't really want a child and that he was the result of his mum, quote, making bad decisions. And then we got character development for one of the bacon heads that were just there in the background of the original TLC movie. It only was used like once or twice. Duncan, why the hell are you being so vague about the characters? Well, my dear Donut, the answer is quite easy and simple. It's because I do not want to spoil the movie, and I'm trying to keep the review spoiler free. So if you want to know who I'm talking about, you'll have to go and watch The Last Guest Remastered on Convex's channel. There are also some scenes of the movie that really got a few good laughs from me, and there was one scene that made me feel pretty sad, and I'm disappointed that I can't say what because, again, spoilers. So, in conclusion, this movie is a great reimagining of Oblivious HD's film. Despite its flaws and my personal issues with it, I do highly recommend watching this film. It only goes for a whole hour long. And speaking of movies, there's another person working on their own The Last Guest remake called Last Guest Remastered, which is by ILGA Studios, and I highly recommend to check it out too. And please do not make this into a competition or claim that this remaster is trying to, quote, take Convex's thunder, which it isn't. Everyone is allowed to make their own remasters or remakes of The Last Guest or any of Oblivion's HD's films. Like, heck, I even tried to make my own remake, and dare to say, I think I was the first who wanted to do a TLG remake before ultimately cancelling it. Oh, and for the love of God, do not make those f***ing OMG, it's guess 1337 for Forsaken comments. No, you ignorant dino nugget eating brat. That is the last guess from the last guess. Sorry about that, and I also want to apologize for the lack of criticism in this review. I missed out pointing out a lot of issues, but that's mostly because I wanted to avoid boiling the heck out of this film and ruining it for everyone else. Making this movie review spoiler free was a challenge, and trying to not speak about things that might spoil the movie, but it's also part of the criticism, is tough. I felt that I should have criticized some scenes, but I was worried about accidentally spoiling the film if I did. But anyhow, please give me your thoughts in the comments below, and if you do enjoy this review, please like and share this video, or even subscribe to my channel and become a channel member, or support me on my Ko-Fi account. But most importantly, please do go watch the movie for yourself and show your support to Corvex and his team. I highly recommend it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye!
%100% pure fish.